Last year was a pretty good performance overall if you look at ICF. So if you can just highlight some of the key takeaways from last year's.
Last year has been a good year for us. We produced 3,007 coaches, 3,007, and it is the second best in the history of ICF. Way back in 1920, we touched 4,000 coaches actually. Right. But the product mix was very different, and we were not having so many DPRS coaches. DPRS in our what we call distributed power rolling stock. That is the Vande Bharat, Membu and EMU kind of trains. So they actually take a lot of number of cycle time is a little higher. So those coaches were not there those days. So those days we produced 4,000 coaches. Last year, out of the 3,007 coaches, we actually produced 1,169 DPRS coaches. That again is a record.
Okay.
In fact, we have been setting records as far as distributed power rolling stock is being manufactured. Last year, we celebrated that we did a very good job of 1,000 coaches. But last year we produced 1,169. In fact, if you see the total product mix of DPRS has been more or less equal to the regular coaches. So that's where we stand.
Okay.
And out of these DPRS coaches, we produce almost 23 Vande Bharat rakes actually. All of them were almost 20 car rakes. And we have a balance of 11 Vande Bharat rakes, which will be producing this year.
Okay.
And we'll be closing the Vande Bharat order.
So this is chair car.
Chair car.
Okay.
So the Vande Bharat sleeper version, one train has been produced already, but this of course in collaboration with BMM. So that one train has been received by us. There were a few initial glitches which we have set right with the help of BMM, and they also gone for that CCRS trials. The trials have been completed at 180 kmph, and the trials have been good. And in oscillation and other performance, everything was perfect. And of course, as customary, CCRS has pointed out a few things that we are attending now and making the replies to his queries. And this formality will be finished in the next maybe a week or 10 days.
What sort of queries were there?
Regarding basically interlocking and between the brake and the driver and things like that. He had some doubts, which we'll have to now, formally we have to reply to him. Because CCRS basically looks after the safety. So he is interested in braking, he is interested in fire, he's interested in crashworthiness, things like that. So he wanted all those calculations which went into the design stage. So we could not submit him at that time. So now we'll be properly replying to him. So we don't find any problem. So it will be through.
You said 4,000 in 1920. So how far can we break that record?
Yeah, it's very, very tall order. But this year we have been given a very big order of target of 3,600 coaches.
Okay.
So 600 coaches in addition to what we produced last year, we'll have to produce. Basically what has happened is now all of us, we have now realized, the railways has realized that LHB coaches are much safer compared to the ICF coaches. So we were replacing as and when the old coaches were getting overaged. But now at a faster pace, the railways wants to replace. So that's the reason now all the three production units, that is ICF, MCF and RCF, have been given very large targets of producing coaches this year and next year. Okay. The idea is that in the next 2 to 3 years, we replace all the old version ICF coaches. In fact, idea is to finish it this year, next year.
Okay.
So my gut feeling is there will be some spillover because we may not be able to even meet the target given by the board. So there will certainly be a little bit of spillover. So 3 years from now, we'll 100% achieve this.
So what is the breakup for this year and next year for all the 3 units put together? What is the overall?
We have been given around, I tell you, 4 plus 3 plus 3, almost 10,000 coaches. 10,000 coaches is for all the 3 production units put together this year.
Okay.
And again, 10,000 coaches next year.
And what will be the split among the 3?
See, we have actually been asked to produce 4,000 coaches.
Okay.
And I think RCF and MCF between them is 3,000 each.
Okay.
MCF could be a little lesser than RCF. I'm not sure of exact figure. I'm just giving you a ballpark figure.
Okay.
They're not exact figures. See, what has happened is because 4,000 is certainly a very big tall order for us to do. So we have actually floated a tender for 600 coaches to be procured from outside.
Okay.
Any of the private players. we'll be sharing the drawings, designs, and we'll be monitoring the processes and things like that. But idea is to buy 600 coaches from the trade.
Okay.
So that's why I said 3,600 coaches will be targeting. 600 will be trying from outside. That means it's 4,200. Even if there's a let up here and there, so idea is to touch 4,000.
Okay. And this 600, what sort of combination?
We have floated a tender only for general class coaches and sleeper classes.
Okay.
All non-AC coaches. So it's easy to make for the private sector also.
Correct.
Because whoever takes the contract.
So which means you will be specializing in some of the Vande Bharat types.
The Vande Bharat kind of coaches, AC coaches, the high-end coaches.
Okay.
We'll be making. We also have to make almost 600 is non-AC coaches.
Who are the players in this category?
Mostly, I think it'll go to BML.
BEM.
Mostly. We are still looking at who will do it. Because they are the people who can actually have all the infrastructure and facilities for manufacturing coaches.
So you talked about the Vande Bharat, this chair car is almost done. So now the focus is mostly on sleeper. And,
as far as sleepers are concerned, as you know, one train already produced. There's a 16-car rake.
Correct.
And BML has, we have given order to BML a couple of years back for 10 rakes. So the other 9 rakes we're expecting this year. So
9 this year.
9 this year. In fact, the trains are almost, the shells are almost ready because of the last time, whatever small improved developments we have pointed out. Okay, they're taking care of that. So I'm sure in the next 6 months, I think all the 9 rakes will come out.
Okay.
From BML.
Okay.
So, apart from that, we have got an order for 50 rakes.
50. Okay.
That is all 24-car rake configurations.
Okay.
With a pantry car also. These 16-car trains do not have pantry car.
Okay. So 16 is from BEM. That is
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And this 24, what is the time frame?
We are now working on the designs.
Okay.
We have finalized the contract tenders for propulsion units. So now we are direct talking to both the propulsion suppliers, continuously in touch with them because the designs have to be finalized.
Okay.
So each of them have got their own designs generally. So these have to be finalized. Balancing of the underframe has to be done because a lot of weight they add along the coaches. So both the propulsion suppliers have got different designs. So each, lot of, you can understand the multiplicity of designs and work involved. So we are at that stage. At the same time, the other sub-assemblies like doors and HVAC units and braking system, all these things, we are now finalizing the specifications.
Okay.
So,
but what is the mandate for the 16, this 9 you said for sleeper with 16 rakes? Yeah. So we will be doing only 10, from ICF side it's 10, right?
They are BML.
BEML, that is
only 10.
Okay, 10. And 50 from, this will be all manufactured in ICF?
All in ICF.
Okay, and when is it likely to start?
We are expecting that the first train will come out in the 25 now, 26 around October, November.
Okay. And this will be fully sleeper and yes,
fully sleeper. Yes.
What could be the configuration in terms of coach?
Coaches is there are 2 configurations. One is having 1 first AC and other is having 2 first ACs.
Okay.
And I think sleeper coaches are it means two tire coaches are around 4. Balance are AC 3 tire.
All AC 3 tire. But when you also had plans for this freight, we were discussing this last time.
Freight is a project which has been going on.
Okay.
We had an order for 2 freight trains for quite some time. But then the focus was towards manufacturing the Vande Bharat chair car.
Correct.
We have made the train is almost ready. Okay. It can be turned out with a small few bogie items are yet to be purchased. Because this bogie has to be for example, chair car is lighter load, 17-ton axle load. This has to be 20-ton axle load. So bogie is different. So we expect that maybe June, July, at the most August, we'll turn out the first rake.
Okay.
And maybe a couple of months after that, the second rake.
What is the design of it going to be? I mean, is it just a shell inside or is
it's a 16-car rake?
Okay.
With as you said, shell, almost on the Vande Bharat platform, and you can load, containers inside that, just like an airline. And then just like an airline freight cargo, aircrafts, if you have pallets, and then there'll be a lot of rollers and rollers on the floor, so that they can be easily placed in different places. And there'll be, for latching and tying up, there'll be facilities available so that they can be kept in place.
Reefers will be there?
Reefers will be, yes, reefers. And then AC, as you say, AC reefers will be also possible in the first two coaches, first and last coach.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But so can we expect next year?
This year,
This year also?
This year, 100%. This year by August or September, in fact, we are ready to turn out, because we, as I said, because our focus shifted towards chair car, and chair car was becoming more important. So,
What is the mandate for that? How many would you be producing?
see, at the moment we have to just test the market. So we are not very sure. We means, and when I say we, I'm talking about Indian Railways. So we will be producing 2 trains.
Okay.
Once these 2 trains are produced, if they are successful, then the design is ready. Design is available with us. We can always produce more. Vande Bharat, we have had an order. We have an order for 50 trains. In fact, it started with 25 trains. Now it's been increased to 50 trains.
50.
Yeah. So we'll be producing 50, and RCF will be producing 50.
RCF, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the version 2. The version 1 already we had produced 2 years back. They are running successfully. So the version 2, Amrit Bharat, 4 of them we have produced last year. That is the last financial year. And 1 train also inaugurated by the Honorable Prime Minister. Saharsa to Mumbai.
Okay.
So that is running now very successfully. So other 3 trains, whenever the government takes a call, they let those. And the balance 25 trains or the first order, 21 trains, because 4 we produced last year, we'll be producing this year.
Okay.
And then initially it was supposed to be only purely a non-AC train. So now 2 of these trains will have a mixed train also.
Okay.
So maybe in the end of last quarter this year, we'll have some AC coaches also in the Vande Bharat.
Okay. Okay. So what could be the configuration again?
Configuration is once again presently what we are producing is totally non-AC. That is general class coaches and sleeper coaches.
Okay.
And out of the 24 coaches, 2 of course are SLRDs, we call them, because this is a push-pull train, and balance 50%.
Okay. How about the ACEMU? In fact,
ACEMUs, we have been producing ACEMUs for some time.
Yes.
In fact, 8 of the
demand per se from all the states actually.
We actually don't go into the demand parts, because it is only the railway board which decides on how many. But there is a demand. There is no doubt about it. Demand is actually what happens is this again take a path. So depends on the locally how much patronage is there. We have produced the first of the 8 trains who have gone to Mumbai. They are working there very successfully.
Okay.
Now I think some more orders are there. I don't know the correct figures, but 2 of the trains are for Southern Railway. 1 we already produced and given. I think in there's one Chengalpattu, I think beach. It is already running. And it initially started with 1 service, and I think they're doing 3 to 4 services a day.
Correct.
So that's the kind of demand, and the second one also will be handing over. And one more project which is actually in our hand, which is very quite a good project, mysterious project, is what is known as K-Ride.
K-Ride.
K-Ride is suburban trains in Karnataka. That is, K-Ride stands for Karnataka Rail Corporation or something. And the suburban services in Bangalore, they don't have the EMU kind of trains in Bangalore yet. So that project is now on. So those orders,
how many?
Is almost finalized. 300 coaches.
300.
Yeah. We'll be producing. So we are also already on the drawing board. We're working on the designs and whatever specifications we are working out with the K-Ride people.
Okay.
Continuously, and most probably I think 95%.
What is the value of that actually?
We are still working out the estimate cost. We are yet to submit the budgetary quotas to them. But it has been decided that we'll do the project.
But what is the speciality of that project actually?
Because they want it to look very different from the EMU trains. They wanted complete AC only. And they wanted more of like a metro train. And it is axle load is slightly smaller, lesser. So that's a big challenge actually. It's a cordless train, regular suburban train with lesser axle load.
Finally, Hyperloop, is there any, whatever the minister said in the scope?
As far as Hyperloop is concerned, it's a very high-end, it's a technology demonstration, I should say. But a lot of countries are working on Hyperloop. It is not that we only were working on British are working, Americans are working. A lot of countries are working, and there is a lot of scope for Hyperloop. But immediately the Hyperloop will not be produced probably for passengers. First, it will be tried on freight side.
Right.
That too in things like in the ports and within the port, movement within the ports and things like that. Work is going on, but we don't have much role in that. Actually, the IIT Madras and there's a startup within the IIT Madras, I think called Tutor.
TUTR.
They are working on it.
Satya.
Yeah, Satya. Professor Satya is there. He's working on it, and they wanted some help from us. Help in the sense for identifying the proper vendors and identifying the, basically that was the issue. We had a discussion, and then we shared all our, we suggested which are the good people who actually can help them out. So,
What is the role of ICF in high-speed train?
high-speed train, once again, it's a order we've given by us to BML.
Okay.
2 trains. Each train is about is 8 cars each.
Okay.
So the work is already started. We ourselves, NHSRCL, that is National High Speed Rail Corporation, and BML, we have regular meetings every month. And though they are producing, we are also, because we have given the order, so it is also in the interest that it's a completely Indian Railway project, not the NHRCL project. So that's how it is. We are finalizing. We are not finalizing. We already finalized the propulsion suppliers. Now we are all finalizing the other seats and flooring and material for car body and bogies and wheels. So because it's a totally new ball game altogether.
Correct. When can we expect the prototype?
Actually, the exact figure, if you want me to tell you, I have to look at my papers. 26, by 27, mid of 27.
Okay.
Mid of 27, we are hoping that the train will be on wheels.
Any challenges you face now, considering there are so many issues happening?
Challenges is that we are only hard pressed for working 24 hours a day. That's the only challenge, but we like it. Okay, we have got 3-4 projects on hand. For example, Vande Bharat, that is also a project which is given to us. 40 rakes we have to produce. One rake which is already working in Bhuj, Ahmedabad area. So 40 more trains we have to produce. So now initially we just produced with whatever we had. Now we have to start tending and fine tuning that. So that is one work going on.
Sure.